Hello. Today you get to hear me talking about the story of Solomon asking for wisdom and Jesus talking about what you treasure. When as a priest you preach sermons regularly, you often come face to face with the popular topic of the Last Judgment. This is not, in my sight, one of the most edifying concepts of the New Testament, but that's how it goes, and therefore one has to deal with it and dig through to find the root. The encouragement, the blessing in the image, and finally, that it matters. I've said before that I imagine not a courtroom, but a conversation. Jesus and I sitting side by side on an upturned dory looking out over the waters. Today, in this version of the Last Judgment, Jesus asks, "So David, what are you most proud of in your life?" Maybe Jesus is ready to ask you that question as you watch this video, even. It could be a small thing, as small as a little yeast in a bowl of flour, the active ingredient that turns it all into bubbled, light, nourishing bread. What's that little thing in you that bubbles away? What could be the treasure hidden in the field of your life? What is the pearl that matters most, more than anything else? What are you most proud of, quietly, humbly, secretly? Solomon's story is a good one for this. Solomon was doing well as a king in a world of warlords and invasions. No one had any moral qualms about killing populations simply to steal their land and possessions and to enslave and sell their remaining family members. The British did this and called it the empire on which the sun never sets, of which Canada was a part. Had Solomon asked for more of what he already had, he would have been smart. But he had wisdom to be aware of his weakness, his shortcomings, his blind spots. He asked for an understanding heart. He asked, I think, for what he had to a degree, but knew he was far behind where he could be. He wanted not only to be able to manage people, to rule and control people, to kill and to conquer. All these he could do. He wanted to understand people, to empathize. Etymologically, to understand is to be amongst, to be in the midst of. To understand someone or a group means to be among them until you see as they see, and you comprehend how things make sense to them. Interestingly, it occurs to me, this is what the incarnation is. This is God understanding us, coming to dwell among us, growing up in our world, seeing reality through our eyes, experiencing as we experience. God in Jesus deals with the grit, the glory, the betrayal, and the hatred. God also, through him, experiences love, courage, self-sacrifice, compassion, loyalty, and more that come only with real life. In Jesus, God is understanding us. Solomon asked to be able to empathize with, to comprehend, to sympathize with, to put himself in the shoes of those he would govern, to understand, not in his head, not politically, not economically or militarily, but to understand in his heart, not as a king, but as a servant or a parent. It was for his weakness acknowledged, his will to see, really see people, that God blessed him. The treasure hidden in Solomon's field was his self-assessed weakness. I find it hard to name strengths. It seems boastful, and I see the strengths of Jesus as differing from what we normally are encouraged to develop. Strengths make for winners in our competitive culture. Compassion, humility, gentleness of spirit, hesitancy in assessing someone, not judging or categorizing someone. All these flow against the stream of the success and growth which mark our culture's direction. Are you any closer to answering, what are you most proud of in your life? As you sit in the presence of God right now, could you answer if God asked, "Ask what I should give you"? Returning to the image of the Last Judgment, someone once told me that the Last Judgment refers to the last judgment you will make. It's an interesting reframing, isn't it? When the house is on fire, what would you turn back to get and take out of the flames with you? Your cat? Your cell phone? A photograph of the person or people you love the most? You really should get that folder in which you have filed away all your insurance information, but I doubt that many of us would do that. The house fire exercise can tell you what matters most. What is the pearl that you would save, that you would risk all for? The Treasure in the Field story asks, of all you own, in order to get that one special thing, would you be prepared to give up everything? All your life's work, your reputation, your investments and savings, your memories. For what would you walk away from everything? This Sunday's readings do not prescribe a set of beliefs or actions. They're not about doctrine and teaching. Today you have been given questions. I cannot answer them for you, nor can anyone else. But like Solomon, you are invited to ponder, to pray, to hold in your heart what you deem vital, what you deem finally matters, and neither defines nor controls you. Answer that question, and you are closer to the doorway into the kingdom of heaven. Amen.